Hey YouTube, it's Jude, and let's talk. So, what are we going to talk about today? Um, I want to react to a post that I just seen about. It was actually posted by Wodemeyer. I think everyone knows who he is. He's probably one of, if not the biggest YouTuber from Africa. He had posted something in the likes of, or rather, he was saying that Africans in the diaspora should tell people what life really is like in the diaspora, right? That was pretty much the gist of the post. I'll post it up somewhere so you guys can see. And it's created quite a bit of mixed reactions, so to speak, because some people are like, yeah, life is terrible. Other guys are like, nah, it's actually really good. Other guys are like, nah, the lazy ones won't make it. Other guys are like, if you work hard, you'll make it. And to be honest, there's a bit of truth in every reaction that I've seen thus far, right? What do I think? So I'm just making this video honestly to give you my own anecdotal experience. For me, I've had a mixed bag, to be honest. There were times where things were really great, especially before the pandemic. I won't lie to you, that was a perfect time. It was really good, you know. The cost of living was low. There was a lot of jobs. Like there was really not that much that was going wrong. But then after the pandemic, man, I don't know what just happened. Like life just, like things just started crumbling, you know? Things just started crumbling. And part of it is to blame with the immigration system, because I know during the pandemic, the government started uh, a program to bring in a lot of temporary workers. If I'm not mistaken, 2.5 million. It was quite a lot of people who came in. And that actually ended up, when you have a lot of people in the job market, after the pandemic, remember the guys who had left the job market come back. And what happens, right? You have a surplus of people to work. So what happens to the wages? They go down, right? But the cost of living went up because of all the bottlenecks and all the logistic issues that we had, right? The cost of living went up while the wages went down or they remained stagnant. And inflation was just like nothing, like it was crazy. A lot of people had to downsize. I had to downsize. I used to live in a nice uh, one bedroom condo on a 10th floor apartment building in the west side of Edmonton. By the way, I live in Canada, Edmonton, if I haven't mentioned that yet. But not for long, though. So, as I was saying, yeah, I had to downsize. I had to downsize from that to now to community living, which is, it's actually funny whenever I think about it. Community living, basically, this is like, it's almost like living in not in a dorm per se, it's almost like living in a hostel, right? You have like a big house. In the house, there's a bunch of rooms, right? Each room is like self-contained. You only share the bathroom, but you have like your own sink and whatnot. But it's just literally one room, like from that to that, simply because of the cost of living. My wages never changed. I was still making the same amount of money. I was still driving the same car. Nothing really changed, but I had to downsize just so I could keep up. My alternative was to get another job, but my visa wouldn't allow me to get another job. I just couldn't, because also remember, I'm a student, right? So it just became unbearable, man. And even after doing the downsize, it still wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. Like life was, the last 2 3 years have just been really, really, really tough. So I think that post is informed by the fact that a lot of people are actually struggling right now, and that's just a fact. And I don't think this is unique to people living in the diaspora. I even think people back home, right? In Kenya, I watch the news almost every day. Nikunoma everywhere. Pia hapa Nikunoma, right? Nikunoma. Things are not good. And now jobs are even scarce now. Yeah, I'll try and put up a video and just show you how bad it is even here, right? In terms of getting jobs. Because remember, there's always this perception that, msiakenda maju, things will be good. Not really. I think it depends on how you come here. There are some people who really do well. Don't get me wrong. This is not even to dissuade people from wanting to travel, to look for a better life. No, you do that, but I think you have to be informed, you know? Get as much information as possible. See where you fit in. Because you might come here and get really disappointed. Like so disappointed, it might literally break you. It will literally break you. And remember here, hakuna huruma. Now you're at least home. When you're broke, kama una kitu unaweza enda ushago. Hapa hakuna ushago. Man, if you're down, if you're really broke, you become homeless. Unalala kwa street. And right now it's winter. Do you want to be homeless in this condition? No one wants to. It's not good. So you really have to see, you really have to study, you really have to do the research about where you're going, right? Because I think most people just look at the good stuff. They only look at the posts, unaona msemi post Instagram, mbele ya building. Like me nikitaka pia nezenda ni post kwa ma building. I don't own that. Hiyo si yangu. That's not mine. That's just a flex. Hauwezi kula flex, hauwezi kula post, right? And I think a lot of people fall for this. So kila mtu anasema, manze uko majuu, uko fiti. No, not really. It used to be, but not anymore. Not anymore. But there are people who thrive. Me, I think if you are highly educated, uko na PhD, you're highly specialized in your field, kama mtu kama pilot, doctor, like an artist, you can really do well here. Because those professions usually are in demand, regardless of the status of the economy. But kama unakuja hapa kuchapa job regular, sijui a cleaning job, sijui, like working in a restaurant, McDonald's, bro, you'll struggle. You will struggle. You will struggle. And I advise you, especially if you have something back home, you have a job, inakulipata kama tuseme ni 20, 30, 50k. The fact that unaweza lipa your rent, unaweza kula, if you can do that back home, I will advise you this. Unless you have a guarantee, unless uko assured of what you're getting into before ukuja hapa, don't leave. Don't leave. You'll be wasting your time. You'll be wasting your time. Because more than likely, utakuja hapa, you'll have to start from the bottom. Me, I remember when I came, there are some people who came after my time, like 2-3 years after I came here. Manze, they came from good jobs. They have even government jobs. They came here, they're like, manze, gava ilipi fiti nini. Then they come here, then they're working in McDonald's, earning $15 an hour. Like you become so beat up, manze. And just to maintain the cost of living, you have to get like 3 jobs. Unachapa job McDonald's, toka McDonald's unaenda unachapa job Tim Hortons, which is another restaurant. Then from Tim Hortons unaenda unachapa job labda a cleaning job, ama an online job, just to maintain. You won't have time for family. If you're a family man, that's how families get broken whenever guys come here sometimes. You won't have time for your family. You don't have time for your kids. You don't have time even for yourself. Manze unajiachilia. Unaona msee manze amebeat. You have baggy, saggy eyes all the time. Guys get into addictions, alcoholism, just to kind of, keep going. So the quality of life will be impacted if you really don't plan it. So what am I saying in summary? Life here can be good or bad depending on how you plan it, depending on how you come here, and depending on the kind of assurances and guarantees that you have. If you don't have any guarantees, don't bother. Don't wing it, guys. Don't wing it. I can understand mse mwenye anatoka labda from Ukraine or Sudan, like a war-torn country where there's really no future. Anything is better than wherever they are. That one is understandable, and I meet them all the time. They're like, at least I have a job. They'll always be thankful. Mse mwenye ametoka Haiti, you think he cares about doing a cleaning job? No, because there's literally nothing. But kama umetoka Kenya, there's no war yet. I hope, God forbid, I don't want my country to fall. Things are still, you can still get like 20, 30k kila mwezi. Be grateful. A lot of people come here and they start regretting, or they start understanding how how ungrateful they were about their, their situation in Kenya. At least in Kenya unaweza unatengeneza hiyo 30k yako, unaishi kwa kabedsita yako, but at least there's a peace of mind that you have back home that is almost impossible to have here. Buda, hapa bills itakutei, hapa bills inakukimbiza literally, man. Like, you just look at the things that you pay for that you take for granted. Me, I can give you just one bill that really messed up, my whole thinking. Insurance, right? If you have a car, in Kenya, you can pay for insurance for like what? Is it 10? I don't know how much it is now, but I think the last time I was there it was like 10 or 15k or 20k for a full year. Apa, like my car, I used to pay for $350 every month, 350k. No, $350, sorry, which is 35 or let's say 30k in Kenya shillings every month. And that's what's considered a very small bill. Ongeza zingine, ongeza bili ya stima, bili ya maji, that will easily take you $200 extra every month. Aya, ujeka bili ya mafuta ya ngata, emergencies, and rent. Rent is insane. Right now, a one-bedroom house average in Edmonton is $1,000. And remember, Edmonton is considered one of the most affordable places in Canada. So we come in Toronto ama Vancouver, you're expecting like $2,000 minimum. How many jobs will pay? Most people make that kind of money per month. Yote inaenda kwa rent. So, so that's what I'm saying, guys. Just be informed. I don't think it's bad for you to want to come, but let it be for the right reasons. Let it be for the right reasons. If you really don't have a genuine reason that's guaranteed and insured, try and make it back home. Try and make it back home. Personally, I'm calling it quits in Canada because for me, personally, it's just not worked out for me. I think I've outlived my stay here. I think I've reached a place where I've just plateaued. For the last 3 years, no movement, same place, for many different reasons. And maybe one day I will, I'll share my own personal story. But, in other words, I guess that's my little bit of, 2 cents about life over here. It's not bad. It's not good. It's very, very situational. You do your research. Do your research and you'll be fine. Other than that, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment on the video below. And yeah, I'll keep on sharing my little bits here and there. And I hope to catch you guys on the next video. Otherwise, may God bless you. Have a nice day.